Africa after Obiang of Equatorial Guinea, who's been in power for 46 years, Paul Biya, who's from Cameroon, been in power for 43 years, and Nguesso from Congo, who's been in power for 41 years. So, Museveni has been in power for a while, since 1986. Well, under his tenure, the party, that's the NRM, has changed the 1995 constitution twice to allow him to extend his rule, Previous constitutions did not allow or did not accommodate, him being in office for, such a long time. But, the party has changed the constitution twice to afford him that, and the 2005 amendment removed president's term limit. You could stay in office. You could stay in office for a long time. I think that's the better way to put it. In 2017, the Ugandan Parliament voted to withdraw age eligibility criteria. So you could be 90 and still run for office, and when you become a president, you really don't have a presidential term limit. That adjustment was done in 2005. The one about presidential term limit was in 2005, and then the one about age eligibility was in 2017. Those were adjustments that all happened during his time in office. Whew! Okie dokie. On X, they made an official tweet where they said His Excellency President Kaguta Museveni is expected to pick nomination papers this Saturday at the NRM Electoral Commission offices as he seeks to retain the position of the NRM chairman and party presidential flag bearer in the 2026 elections. And then you see photos all splashed there. Just head on to X, check out the official handle of @NRM Online. That's the official X handle of the NRM party, on the platform of which President Museveni runs. From Uganda, let's go right to Central African Republic, where authorities in CAR issued a statement saying their president is not seriously ill. Y'all should stop it. Specialist website Africa Intelligence has reported that he's been in Belgium since Saturday for emergency medical treatment. The website also said that the president, Ashange Touadera, was in a stable condition in hospital in Brussels after having been evacuated from Bangui on a private medical jet. Opposition politician Martin Zugwele says the head of state health is a matter of national interest, and he has called for transparency. Now, that call put officials under some sort of pressure, and they had to come out to reassure the public that there was no cause for alarm, and they claimed that the president simply took advantage of a scheduled trip to carry out a medical checkup. You heard? Yeah. So he's not fine. He's fine, according to the report. So because he traveled, he decided to just, extend that. Okay, I'm here already, so why not? Let me just, do a medical checkup. And this is their explanation. They said that the website just decided to, carve a fully different story from what the situation really is. They said the aim of his visit to Brussels was to urge the EU to support the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization. Well, the president was due to attend the USA-Africa Business Summit in Angola, but, he wasn't there. Hundreds of protesters took to the streets of Bangui in April to oppose the president's plan to run for an unconstitutional third term in office. Why not just change the constitution? We saw what happened in Uganda, right? from CAR, I love how we're going this morning. From Uganda to CAR, now we're stopping at South Africa. Just a quick stop because we have other parts of Africa to visit. Sudan is just right up next. Anyway, so in South Africa, what's going on? World Bank has granted South Africa $1.5 billion for infrastructure and for green energy. It was on Monday that the World Bank granted South Africa a $1.5 billion loan to upgrade transportation infrastructure and to also help it transition towards a low carbon economy. That's what the country's national treasury said. It's the update that came in from the national treasury itself. So the country has recorded derailing rail systems, you see congested ports, you see frequent power outages that we've been keeping up with. In fact, in the last couple of years, it's not even the last few months, in the last couple of years, there have been issues of serious power outages in South Africa to a point where they now had to start rationing across the country. Some parts would have about 8 to 12 hours of electricity, and then they won't have for the rest of the 24 hours in a day. So it's been a problem, and it has hindered vital industries such as mining and automotive manufacturing in South Africa. And according to official reports, that contributed to slow economic growth over the last decade in Africa's most developed economy. Yep, they consider the most developed economy in South Africa. Well, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, and his coalition government have pledged to tackle corruption and decades of poor management, as well as pursue reforms that will help the country to emerge from its economic dilemma, brouhaha, rot, whatever you choose to call it, and alleviate its extremely high unemployment rate. Well, how are they going to do it? The South African government has not exactly said, they've not given specifics, but they said that it expects the World Bank loan to, be the first step in the right direction because it will enable inclusive economic growth and job creation by assisting in the removal of important infrastructure bottlenecks, especially in the energy and freight transportation sector. Let's hear what the National Treasury, the statement that was released by the National Treasury, part of it reads. It says, this agreement reinforces the strong and constructive collaboration between the World Bank and the government of South Africa. This partnership marks a significant step towards addressing South Africa's pressing economic challenges of low growth and high unemployment. Well, just to cast your mind back for a bit, South Africa's budget of 2025-2026 has allocated over 1 trillion rands over the next 3 years towards critical transportation, towards energy, towards water, and also towards sanitation infrastructure. And they're also looking at how they can improve access to basic services. Another thing you should remember is that the real gross domestic product was revised downward to 1.4% in 2025. It used to be 1.9%, but then it was, revised downward to 1.4%. That was even the projection by the Finance Ministry in March because of the worsening global outlook and the persistence of logistics constraints and higher borrowing cost. Anyway, let's see what they're going to do with this money, and we hope that is just something that will be to the benefit of the average South African. Is in FM 93.7. It is exactly 7:45. Let's take a minute, just a break, and when we come back, we'll take more stories. I mentioned earlier that Sudan was up ahead. Well, we have Sudan, DR Congo, and other parts. Just stay with yes, and then South Sudan is also in the news. But for what? This U.S. Supreme Court allowing Donald Trump to deport migrants to South Sudan and other parts of Africa.